Hey Concepts Agents, it's Matt Morrow here. I wanted to get this video out. Tomorrow we're doing a training session at Windsor Heights, just how to work your database. Some of you have taken this class before. There'll be a lot of good stuff that we've already been over, but we're going to try to go deeper and get some new stuff out there as well. I have a guest agent, Jenny Farrell, coming in who works her database probably as well as anybody. If you guys know her, you guys know how high level she is. So I'm interested in seeing what she says and some of the things that she does, hopefully give you some fresh ideas. For those of you coming to the class, please bring something to take notes on. We'll hand out the blueprint of everything that we're talking about, but I want you to be able to write down ideas that you get off the class. That's kind of the purpose of it. And for those of you tuning in online, please do the same. I hope we have a good turnout tomorrow. I've always believed this is the foundation of your business. And look forward to sharing some great ideas with you guys and some upcoming things we're going to try to do from the marketing department. Secondly, and more importantly right now, I know how tough it is out there for you guys with limited inventory, multiple offers, losing offers. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the class tomorrow at the end. But I wanted to get this video out because I'm afraid I won't have a sufficient amount of time to actually go over all my thoughts and some ideas to share with you. First of all, let's go over winning offers. I'm not batting 1,000 either. You know, I lost an offer that I wrote that was probably the best offer I've ever written. You know, we went $18,000 over list price. We waived inspection contingencies. We waived appraisal contingencies. We had 15% down on a conventional loan. Of course, no closing costs, no home warranty. We even actually waived the tax proration for the seller. In this case, it was about a $9,500 make on top of the $18,000. We still lost. And I think the reason we lost, in fact, I know the reason we lost, was my buyer was pressured to make a quick decision. And the other offer that we were competing against had been there from the night before and had upped her offer through the afternoon. And I think the seller felt like they were more emotionally committed to the house than someone that came through in 20 minutes had to make a hasty decision. And the listing agent was savvy enough to say, hey, let's go with the buyer, and they might not net quite as much, but we believe they're more emotionally invested in the property and have a better chance of holding it together. I'm sure some of you felt that way too, where your buyers had to make a quick decision on the property and you're worried about their emotional conviction of the home. Certainly if you're on the listing side, something to be wary of, because people are making fast decisions that generally they'd have more time to make than the market we're in. So how do you win offers? You know, if you're subject to sell, obviously it's an inferior offer. If you're subject to closing or obtaining proceeds from a sale, you're in an inferior position. If you're FHA or VA, you're in an inferior position. For you seasoned agents out there, you know why. And for you new agents out there, those VA and FHA, they just have extra qualifications that a conventional buyer doesn't have to go through. Points to look at, though, when you are writing the offer. Price, obviously, is a big thing. Educating your buyers right up front when you meet them about the state of our market is going to be crucial for them to understand what's going on. Earnest money, showing that they're committed with healthy earnest money. Money down on their loan. You know, 3.5% down versus 5 versus 10 versus 15 versus 20, it matters. Conventional, FHA, VA, cash, it matters. I would talk to the listing agent if you can. Don't just write the offer, send it over on Dotloop and say, hey, agent, whatever, there's an offer sitting for you in your email. Talk to them and see if you can get any information from them that might strengthen your offer based on the seller's needs. Do they have a new construction home that's not closing until June 15th and your buyer is in a position where they can wait? That might be worth something, right? And sellers don't have to move twice. Those other offers may have to be out, might have to be in. And if they don't have to move twice, all things considered, seller might take a couple thousand less to not have to go through that hassle, right? It's, you know, closing costs, asking it from the seller, home warranties, asking it from the seller. huge amount of time for inspection. Can you lower that instead of the standard 10 business days that we see quite often? Can we get it done in 5? Can we write an amendment up to the purchase agreement that says we won't hassle the seller, or whatever verbiage you want to use, but we won't hassle the seller for anything less than $2,000 on an inspection item. We're not gonna ask for radon. We're not gonna ask for GFCIs to be fixed. We're not gonna, if there's a dead outlet or a plumbing leak, we're just gonna take care of that. We're not gonna hassle the seller with that. Is that something that we can do that would make your offer just a little bit more enticing? Waiving the tax proration. These offers are getting so inflated that appraisal is a big part of it. If your buyer has a lot of money to put down, maybe you waive the appraisal contingency, as long as the buyer knows that, hey, we're offering $225. If it only appraises for $210, we waive this condition. You're coming up with $15,000 extra down to put down on this house. There's buyers out there will do it. My buyer was willing to do it. We lost, but they were willing to do it. They understood what was at stake, and they were willing to do that. So that might be another thing. And then, of course, waiving the tax proration. That's something that's seldom used, but it is in your arsenal. What does that mean to your buyer? It just means they're not going to get the credit at closing. You may or may not know this, but the good faith estimate provided by the lender does not take the tax proration into account. So what they're being told by the lender they have to bring in, and what they actually bring in, is generally quite lower because of the credits that come across from the tax proration. They wouldn't get those credits. They would just resume paying taxes like they always do anyway. So that not only is that an option to put more money in the seller's pocket, but that's also a way to inflate the price without having to worry about it not appraising. Where if another buyer has outbidded you in price, you can bring that up to the listing agent, like, listen, we have another $4,500 here by waiving this tax proration, but it's not inflated in the price where it would affect an appraisal. Something to think about. And there aren't a lot of agents that are doing that. In fact, I was the only agent that I know of that actually tried that. So there's something to think about there. Ultimately, the lender you use, is it a strong lender? Is it a well-known lender? One that's known to close on time? It matters, And I also believe the agent that you are, your reputation, my past dealings with you. Are you someone that can help sort out problems, someone that can anticipate problems, someone that can be resourceful, that will work out problems? Are you pleasant to deal with? All those things go into that. So be the agent. I always say be the agent everybody wants to work with. It matters. So every interaction that you have with agents, whether it's in a social setting or in a business setting, it's all fun and games when everything's going well and the way we anticipate. But when things go sideways, like they often do, be a professional. Be one that's willing to work through the problem with somebody, bring them in on the solution. Those things that go a long way, that when all things being considered, that agent will look at their seller and say, I know this agent. I like working with this agent. I like this agent personally. I think we should go with their offer because they're a true pro. Ultimately, I wrote the best offer and lost. So it's not always going to work out. But those are the points of the offer that you can work through to try to win these offers. And I hope it helps. Now, as far as having a lack of inventory, everybody wants listings. Listings are gold right now. What I would recommend that you do, especially for you seasoned agents out there, if you've been in this business 3 years or longer, go back to your client base that you sold houses to and do quick market analysis on them. Not only one, as a point of touch for them, you send an email to them, but two, they might be and probably will be very surprised of what their home is worth. If you're an agent that's been doing this 10 years, 15 years, or even 20 years, you should have a huge database to go up to and say, hey, Kim and John, Matt Morrow here. We have a lack of inventory on the market. I thought you might be surprised at what I think I could get for your home. In today's market conditions, not having seen your home and what upgrades you've done to it since I've last seen it, I think I could get this out of it. They'll have a conversation about it, believe me, because they'll be surprised how much it is. And that conversation could lead to a phone call. Say, hey, why don't you come over and take a look at our house and see if you truly feel that way? So if that's the case, we want to move. or we're interested in at least exploring that. I'll do 5 or 6 of those a day, depending on how big your database is, and see if you can't create it. Obviously, for sell by owners, going back to think about expired you didn't sell 2 or 3 years ago. They're all because they were overpriced. They're not now. Go back to them and talk to them about putting it back on the market. Even ones that didn't sell last year are getting it because they were overpriced, or probably priced accordingly now. Quit posting online that you sold this house with 9 offers in 5 minutes. It's sending the wrong message. And I've been telling you this for at least 5 years. It's okay to say, I got 105% list price to sales price. That's valuable. But to say that you got 5, 6 offers, you're sending the wrong message that maybe they don't need you to sell their home. So please stop spreading that message across Facebook and other platforms. You need to take a better approach to that, a more tactful approach, one that sends the message to the public that I can get you more for your house. Okay? As far as what I think the market's going to do, and this is just for me reading, but you're going to see a correction of the market coming soon in the way of rising interest rates. And don't let that scare you. That's going to be a good thing. We want a leveling of sorts. And the most real estate I've ever sold has been when we have a balanced market between buyers and sellers. And those of you that have been in, that was in real estate in 2013, 2014, 2015, you know what I'm talking about. We'll have hopefully 3 times the inventory that we have today. Interest rates will still be reasonably low. Refinances won't be a big thing. And we still have a ton of people that need to move for various reasons. So look for that correction to come probably in the 4th quarter. You'll see interest rates are already kind of trending upwards, and they will continue to trend upwards to try to balance this inflation. That's going to be a good thing. Now, if they rise too fast, too quickly, or even when they do rise, understand that there will be initial shock to the market. There'll be a leveling. It'll look like probably the world's coming to an end for you for a short period of time, and then everything will be fine. I'm actually looking forward to that because we need more inventory. We need more things for buyers to choose from. And this whole market where you're getting 20,000, 10,000 over list price just can't sustain itself, okay? So I hope this helps. I mean, I'm always available for you guys for one-on-one conversations. If anything else, I enjoy it. It helps me keep me sharp. It helps me come up with ideas that hopefully help you. It helps me start thinking outside of the box. I know a lot of people are getting beat right now by flat fee brokers and stuff. In my opinion, be flexible. You can scale your listing. Start out high, and if you don't sell it in 30 days, you can reduce a quarter by every month, or you can start low and do the opposite. If you don't sell it in 30 days, there's more work, you can do a lot of different things. You have complete freedom, flexibility, and control of your business here. So don't hold too tight to the vest right now in the market we're in to a certain percent or whatever. If you can command that, command it. But if you can't, you have to get the business, get them as buyers, move on, give them a high level of service, and that'll translate into past clients down the road. It'll translate into referrals in the immediate. Always think big picture, okay? We're trying to build a fan club with everybody that we come in contact with, and that's all you're doing, okay? So I understand that you guys are having troubles out there with multiple offers. I understand there's a lack of listings. I see it too. I'm in the trenches with you. The only thing that you can do is grind your way out of it. Be innovating. The business is always changing. That will never change. We got to adapt. We got to evolve. And all of you, we're so fortunate to have you here. Just know that you always have my ear whenever you need it, whether it's a group mastermind session, whether it's one-on-one, a phone call, whatever it is. I'm here for you guys always. It's going to be a great year, but it's going to have its own challenges. So anyway, for those attending the class tomorrow, I look forward to seeing you all and hope you get the most out of it. I'll talk to you soon.